So this video is going to be my study abroad experience review and recap, where I talk all about my 3.5 months in London and just the types of things I experienced, my thoughts, and also some study abroad tips and advice for any of you who are planning on going abroad soon, especially to Europe. Just so you know, I have this notebook with me where I made lists of things I should say in this video, so if you see me looking down, just know that I'm looking at my lists. This video is also probably going to be kind of long. I'm going to try to be succinct about everything, but it's probably going to be kind of long, so get ready and feel free to pause when you have to. So I think I should just start from the very beginning of why I wanted to go abroad and why London specifically. Long story short, I just have this fascination with British culture and just all things British. I guess really I just have a very deep appreciation and passion for British history. When I was little, I mean all the way throughout high school too, I just loved learning about British history. I loved reading books, British classics. The first time I read Pride and Prejudice was in 6th grade. I took a British literature class. I also had this phase in middle school where I was obsessed with the Tudors and like that whole history. So British history and also British culture has been really fascinating to me. Yeah, ever since I was probably in middle school, I've just had this dream of like, I'm going to London. London, it like has to be London, you know, it's such an international city, but also in Britain. So it was always just a goal of mine to make it to London and study abroad in London, especially in college, where probably most of you are planning on studying abroad. So yeah, come around sophomore year, I started doing my research about studying abroad in London. And at first, I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to go fall or spring. And honestly, the only reason why I decided fall was because I couldn't wait. I just wanted to get there like as soon as possible. So I went my junior fall, which junior year is usually, but not necessarily, but usually the time when college students go abroad, right? So sophomore year, I was planning my study abroad applications. I think I began in December. The game plan was for me to do a semester in London and specifically take some business courses. For those of you who don't know, I'm a double major in business administration and international relations and politics. So my initial thought was, oh, like I want to go to the best school academically possible in London. So the two schools that I was looking at initially were UCL, University College London, and also King's College. The whole problem with those two schools was that UCL wasn't offering the business program in the fall. So right off the bat, I mean, after I did talk to some UCL study abroad representatives about that, I was like, could I take some business courses, maybe mix some business and international relations courses? But it just looked like their business courses really weren't being offered in the fall for some reason, I guess for exchange students or study abroad students. So right off the bat, UCL got kicked off my list. And then King's College. King's is definitely more of a humanities and social sciences college. It doesn't have a business school. So finding the specific business classes that I needed, I mean, in order to graduate in 4 years and to be on track towards graduation, I guess, was hard. It was almost impossible. So at first I was definitely a little worried because I was like, okay, I can't go to these schools. So what other schools are there? At that point, I was just like, whatever. Like, honestly, let me just find a school that has the classes I need and that's accommodating about courses so that I can at least just go abroad and still be on track towards graduation. So I ended up choosing Queen Mary University of London because unlike the other schools, they're super helpful and super open about courses Study abroad students can take classes from all different departments and subjects. So that works out really well for someone like me who's a double major. And for those of you who don't know, like double majoring or like doing 2 subjects is not a thing in the UK. It's not impossible, but super difficult, and people don't do it. Like, it's not a norm. So yeah, so for me, being a double major, it was really important that I get the classes I need for both of my majors. So yeah, it worked out with Queen Mary. And ultimately, I decided to do a direct enrollment to Queen Mary. So I was just directly enrolling like a normal student, but I did it through IES Abroad, which is a third-party study abroad provider. The deal with a third-party provider, at least what they did for me, was IES just kind of made the paperwork a little more clear. You just had an account and they like had all the documents and papers that you needed to fill out, and they gave you like very clear deadlines when everything needed to be done, and that was basically it. You just had to fill out all the paperwork. I know for the application process, I also had to get 2 letter of recs from teachers. So I just got that. I don't even think I needed a personal statement for myself. And yeah, and I think it was by end of March or early April, I got my response that I got into Queen Mary. So I was like, dope, let's go. Like, it's happening. And I would say, if you're applying to like more top-tiered schools, definitely have a safety. But for me, I knew that Queen Mary was not going to be a big deal. Like, I was going to get in, so I just applied to Queen Mary and, you know, hence got my acceptance. So that was really exciting. That was probably like, when I got that email, it really hit me like, oh shit, I'm actually going to London, and like my study abroad dreams are actually going to come true. So yeah, fast forward to September 16th to be exact, is the day I landed in London. And from then on, I have to say the first 2 months were probably the best months of my study abroad experience. Not necessarily because I did the most, but just because everything I did was kind of a first for me, like a first in London type thing. So it was so surreal. Like, I'd be walking down the street, heading to the tube station, and it would just hit me all of a sudden like, oh my God, like I'm walking around in London, you know, by myself or with friends, whatever. And it was just like those moments that was so surreal. Yeah, those first couple months were really exciting, to be honest. Like, everything just felt so exciting. First of all, just talk about school and talk about Queen Mary. I was loving it at first. The UK education system is very, very, like, very different from the American education system. And especially UK universities are super different. There is no such thing as homework. There is no required assignments for you to do after class once you go home. It's the way, like, our study abroad program leader described it was just, it's kind of, the UK believes in you get out what you put in. So definitely, like, in terms of education, you know, you can put in the work and get out a lot, or you can just stick around. Like, no one cares. No one's gonna, I guess, baby you like the way they do in America. So for me, study abroad, you know, was a much needed break from the stress of college. So not having homework was amazing. Also, you know, the first 2 months I got to explore so much of London. I went, I'm trying to think. I went to Kew Gardens, I went to museums, I, you know, went shopping on Oxford Street for the first time. I explored Shoreditch a lot, Liverpool Street, because that's where I lived close to. So I should mention that Queen Mary is located in the East End of London, East London, Mile End to be exact. For those of you who watch Call of the Midwife, that is located in Mile End. So yeah, that was cool, huh? So I got to explore a lot of East London for sure. During the first 2 months, I also did some really exciting day trips to Cambridge, Oxford, and what was the last one? Oh, Chatsworth. Chatsworth House. Okay, this is where the nerd in me comes out. Chatsworth House is where they filmed a lot of the scenes in Pride and Prejudice for actually multiple different film adaptations of Pride and Prejudice. The 2004 one with Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadyen, and also the more recent one called Death Comes to Pemberley. And yeah, Chatsworth House was used as the location for Pemberley House, which is where Mr. Darcy and eventually Elizabeth Bennet live. It's Mr. Darcy's house. Super grand, beautiful house. Okay, clearly I'm just like nerding out about it. But yeah, Chatsworth was amazing. That was a really fun trip. I also got to go to it was like a Fortet Jamie XX concert, one of those like what I describe as music without words concerts with my friend Ian and some of his friends. And that was really fun. I mean, that was my first time going to, I guess, an EDM concert. It was so cool. It was so cool. But it was in London, in Brixton, which is such a cool area filled with hipsters who smell like cigarettes and mothballs. Yeah, so I would have to say the first couple months, I just felt so alive. Like every day I'd be going out and doing something for the first time, going someplace I've never gone before. And being in a city like London was just so fascinating. London is fast-paced, yet not too fast. And I have to say, the first thing I really noticed about London when I got there was that it's a city filled with a lot of young people. Like, in Hawaii, yeah, they're young millennials, but like not to the level of London, which was so exciting. Like seeing 20-something-year-olds everywhere, like everywhere around the streets and restaurants and shopping and cafes and clubs and stuff. It was so exciting. I just felt like London is a place where you can meet so many people. So that was just really exciting. Just exciting for me to be around and so new. And every day kind of just felt like a new adventure. Okay, so then that was basically, I would say, mid-September to the end of October. Oh, okay, so starting October, the end of October, for, what was it? 5 weekends straight, I was out of the country. That was my like travel period. That was insane. It was tiring and exhilarating, but honestly, it was just kind of like an adrenaline rush. Like every weekend, you're just flying off somewhere else and having just a crazy once-in-a-lifetime experience, and then coming back to school and just kind of like doing your schoolwork, and then you're off again in the weekend. You know, crazy flights, so many train trips to the airports, all the different airports. That travel period was insane. If you haven't watched my travel vlogs, please do go watch them. They're pretty cool, and I feel like they get progressively better. My vlogging skills get better, so yeah. But basically starting, I think it was the 20th of October, that was my first trip out of the UK. It was to the south of Italy. We flew into Naples and we stayed in Sorrento, and we kind of went along the Amalfi Coast a little bit. We spent a day in Capri, and that was for Grace's 21st birthday. That trip was hilarious and also beautiful, breathtaking. Like Italy never disappoints. That wasn't my first time to Italy, by the way, but yeah, I just gotta say Italy's like one of the best places to vacation just because it's cheap, it's beautiful, and the people are very, very nice. Okay, so then that was the first weekend. The next weekend I went to Santorini in Athens with my friend Kathy, and we met up with our friend Kimmy, who both Kathy and Kimmy are friends from Hawaii, high school friends. And yeah, Kimmy was studying abroad in Athens, but she flew over and met us in Santorini, and then we flew to Athens with Kimmy, and she showed us around for like a day or like a day and a half, and that was beautiful, seeing Santorini. After Santorini, we went to Marrakesh, Morocco, and Morocco, hands down, was my favorite trip out of all of the trips, culturally, and just, I don't know, Morocco is everything. Morocco is a highly romanticized place, but like when you get there, it's just, I don't know. I came in expecting something and I feel like it met all my expectations, but Morocco was just great in every way. And I think honestly what made it so great was the fact that we stayed with a host family, with this beautiful woman named Nesha and her 2 kids and her sister, in their riad, their beautiful home. It was just amazing being with her. And I think really staying with the host family is probably what, you know, made the trip really exceptional, really phenomenal. It's the fact that we didn't have to worry about the small like logistical things. Like she took us around and made sure we got to where we were going safely and quickly, and you know, made us delicious food and got us good bargains and steals at the Medina. So Morocco was just incredible. And then, I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah, so after Morocco, then we had, at Queen Mary, we had our reading week, which is basically a week off from school, just to do schoolwork and catch up with school. But I used that weekend to go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam's cool. It's kind of cold. Not too cold, but the weather was really good. I must say, the weather was incredible. Just like this whole study abroad, 3.5 months, the weather everywhere we went was incredible. Oh my God. So Amsterdam was fun. I went with Divya, my friend from CMU, and then Tara, who's one of the girls in my study abroad program that I, you know, became really good friends with, and she also became really good friends with Divya. So the 3 of us went to Amsterdam. That was really fun. And then after Amsterdam was Iceland. We went to Reykjavik, and Iceland was, oh my God, Iceland was stunning. It was breathtaking. Iceland, you felt like you were on a different planet. It was, God, I don't know how to describe it, but Iceland is just beautiful. The landscape, like it's not a view you see every day, that's for sure. So Iceland was incredible. It was very expensive though. I will say, if you're a broke college student traveling on a budget, like Iceland is not cheap. It's a trip you're gonna have to save up for because everything there is insanely expensive. But personally, I thought it was worth it. Definitely. Okay, so that's 5 weeks. 5 weeks of traveling, and basically by Thanksgiving, so by the end of November, I was pretty exhausted, and that is also when school started to kick in. So like final assignments, final papers were kind of just beginning, and they were all the deadlines were just clumped together. It was just this the same like 3-4 day window time frame to turn in things. So not gonna lie, I started freaking out about school and freaking out about the fact that I had like 3 weeks left in London and there were still so many things I wanted to do. And Christmas was coming up, so all the Christmas decorations and Christmas activities in London were beginning, which is why I began Fringemas, my version of Vlogmas, where I uploaded a video each week leading up to Christmas of like the things I did in London, which was incredible. You should definitely go watch Fringemas if you want to see what London is like during Christmas time. Yeah, so those couple weeks were really stressful, really fun, like really fun. I was able to pack so much into those last 3 weeks in terms of like activities and also like getting schoolwork done. But it was stressful too. It was really stressful. So yeah, the end of my study abroad experience was, not gonna lie, it was a scramble. It was one hell of a scramble to get things done. I did some amazing Christmas activities. I did backyard cinema, went to Harrods, which is stunning, went to Winter Wonderland, which in my personal opinion, wasn't that great, but if it's your first time in London and you have a limited time in London, you should do Winter Wonderland, or else I think you'll regret it. So yeah, there's that. I went to a football game, a soccer game. It was Tottenham versus Moscow, and that was really, really cool. I mean, football in Europe is a huge deal, and those crowds were crazy, and it was so fascinating just seeing it all. I went to tons of markets. London has its fair share of markets, as any big city would. I mean, I went to, I'm trying to see if I can list all the markets I went to this semester. I went to Columbia Road Flower Market, Brick Lane, Borough Market, Camden Market, Spitalfields, Notting Hill. That counts, right? Notting Hill counts. Yeah, Notting Hill Market. Or Portobello Market. Sorry, Portobello Market is what it's called. What else? I feel like it's probably one or two more. But yeah, that's a lot of markets. And they're all great. Let's see. And I also went to a 1975 concert. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am a huge 1975 fan now. They're incredible. Their songs are so good. Please listen to Love Me, Sound, Chocolate, and you probably have heard of somebody else, but yeah, those four, so good. Okay, and then basically by the last week of school, I was having a panic attack because I honestly thought I couldn't finish all my assignments before my Saturday flight to Budapest that week. Like, I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I thought I was gonna cry. I was literally texting like so many friends, just like, please give me some support because I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like, what am I doing? Why did I leave all of this to the last minute? I'm not even this type of person. Like, this is not how I approach school. But I got it done. I boarded that flight Saturday morning to Budapest, and it was just nice knowing I finished it all and that I could enjoy this last week of traveling. So the last week I went to Berlin and Budapest with Mika and Kathy. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, Mika is also a friend from back home, from Hawaii. And we had a great last weekend exploring the Christmas markets, just eating, and like those two trips were pretty chill, pretty slow paced, I would say. And it was just, you know, a chance to just explore some other parts of Europe. And then after Berlin, we flew back to London, landed in Heathrow, and then went directly to dinner with our bags. We went to one of our favorite restaurants, Eat Tokyo, for a good sushi dinner. And then I went home, took a shower, packed my stuff, threw away all the other crap in my room because I obviously needed to clear my room and clean it completely for the next student who was moving in January. And then I just grabbed my things at 4 a.m. in the morning. I called an Uber and I was back to Heathrow in less than 24 hours. And then got our flight and came back home. And that was the end of my study abroad experience. So yeah, that is just a very, very quick, brief summary of basically the things I did while I was abroad. Clearly, there's a lot of other things that I haven't mentioned, but just a general sense of what the 3.5 months looked like. Okay, I realize that this video is coming on 30 minutes, so I'm gonna stop here. Hopefully this is giving you a good overview of just from start to finish everything I did during my study abroad experience. So yeah, I'll just end this video here. This will be part 1 of this study abroad reflection series. The next video I will talk more about, you know, my feelings about this whole thing, some disillusionments, and also tips and advice I have for study abroad, potential study abroad students, and just reflect on some of the best moments and best experiences that I had during these 3.5 months. So Until then, thank you for watching and sticking through this. Hopefully, you know, you found some parts of this interesting. Yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you in part 2.